Here's Janet Kuypers.
And I just haven't even. And of course, my purse is stuck on this. This is going to be a book rack for me. Every time I come here, I want to show off new book releases because that's another way to get poetry out there, I suppose. And beginning of May, we released new issues of Don Dirt magazine and cc&d magazine. This one actually comes with a new interior design on the pages, and it's got a poem from Tom in it, and it's got a poem from Angel in it, from one I read from there, and they're next to each other on the page too. Right. And I thought I would share with you, I have a performance art section in there, and I did a poem last year at the Osmic City Expo Center, which I thank you for, Tom, and so I was going to share with you the poems from that, because it was about ultimate connectivity with everything in the world. And I know that you questioned this first one. Bigger pages, I have it from the show. So this is the first one called Trying to Separate Peace from War. Wanted to see the other side of the world. I wanted to roam the streets with wandering cows. So I thought that docking at the Bay of Bengal would be a great vegetarian communal experience. But women are second-class citizens there, forced to wear layers of clothes everywhere to hide themselves. So I walked along the naval base in Vishakhapatnam, wandered to the row of emperor statues along the shore, and I wondered why 2/3 of the statue plaques, written in Hindi and English, wrote that most people were emperor and poet, warrior and poet, freedom fighter and poet. Which made me think, poetry is a platform for peace, and it made me wonder, do we all live with this balancing act where we speak softly and carry a big stick? Which creates the crucial question, do we need war to have peace? When is it possible to understand peace if we haven't gone through a battle to get it? Human life has always had that uphill battle where we all work, we all fight some form of war until we all finally reach peace. This one, I think I read for a coffee thing for Poetry Aloud recently. This is Ultimate Connectivity, How Coffee Can Be Relaxing. Every time I went back to my childhood getaway, every time I'd go for a walk, it felt like half the people knew me. You didn't feel afraid to say hello to strangers because everyone here was at home. Now, I don't drink coffee. I don't like the taste, and I don't need the caffeine. But when I was here, it seemed like it was my own special retreat. I'd pour myself a really weak cup, sweeten it up to replenish my sweet stock. And I'd sit at the table outside in the morning to write, or I'd sit at a bench and watch the retired couples play round-robin doubles tennis. They'd ask me if I'd like to join them. But no, I was happy here with my insanely weak coffee that was just warm enough to warm my spirits and keep me company as I enjoyed the morning breeze and the connection I felt with everyone around me. So this is why I usually have things all separated for me. And there goes my book. This one is called, please stay for it, thank you. This one is called Disconnect to Reconnect. People are rushing, don't have time for breakfast after you slam the alarm snooze button 3 times. Stumble out of bed, you're clean enough, forget the shower, clean up your face, smooth your hair. Put on your work clothes, grab the briefcase, lock the door, speed up but avoid the sweat of a near pant while you take the train to the bus stop or anything just so you can get something. Well, you can get something on the way once you're actually at the office to eat. Well, once you've stopped your face, once you've stopped at your stop, you've still got places to be. Check your watch. Look down the street. Where is your carrier? You need that vehicle to get you where you need to be. Pace a bit. Adjust your clothes. Check your watch again. This is corporate America, you think. Hurry up and wait. The world rotates at 1,000 miles an hour. Everything is spinning. You see more and more, but feel connected less and less. So maybe it's time to make some choices, and it's time to lay claim to everything that we've been blindly giving away. Because if I can make choices and walk flights of stairs instead of taking smoke breaks at work, or if I can pick up recyclable garbage that's left on the street by piggish people that can't even take care of their own trash, because if I don't do something and I complain about it, I'm almost as bad as them. If I can make choices like that, maybe it's time to look for peace or even meditate anywhere. I mean, if you're waiting for work at a bus stop, why don't you try to just relax there? Maybe you can reconnect by disconnecting. Find some time like this to just stop, because everything around us moves so fast anyway. The world orbits its axis at close to 1,000 miles an hour. It speeds around our sun at 66,000 miles an hour. In our solar system, it hurtles through the outer edge of our Milky Way galaxy at 483,000 miles an hour. And newsflash, our entire galaxy is speeding away from other galaxies too, at an astounding 1.3 million miles an hour, which, the last time I checked, keeps getting us closer and closer to the speed of lights. So, if the news from the world bombards you and you're being hurled through the cosmos, maybe that's when you need to meditate, mentally step outside it all. Maybe then you could gain a new perspective, come to peace with everything. And maybe that is when you disconnect, that this hurtling earth can come full circle and everything can connect again. Connectivity, aches and pains. I had a really heavy workload. Months went by, the workload piled, and the boyfriend was bringing me down. And I'd wake up every day in so much pain, shoulder, elbow, back, and knees. The pain drove me to the doctor. And after the blood tests, they found nothing wrong, but they guessed it was arthritis and gave me really strong pills. They'd make me dizzy. They'd knock me out, but they didn't relieve the pain. So after 4 months, I got away. Got away from the work, got away from the boyfriend, enjoyed the sun and the sand, and felt at peace again. And that's when I realized I didn't need that boyfriend, and I can handle the work, so I didn't need the pills. And the aches and pains, they went away. And it only happened when I brought peace back again. Connectivity, forgetting fear and feeling free. Standing at the water, maybe 20 meters from the shoreline, I saw one sea lion facing off with another sea lion on the beach. In an effort to say it was the beach master, one started to chase the other into the water to kick them off their domain. Now, a sea lion can get like up to 7 feet long, and when one male started chasing the other into the water, these giant animals were barreling straight toward me. But no, I wasn't scared. They weren't after me, so I stood perfectly still as one splashed past me to my left and the other splashed past me to my right. I think a few people at the beach were scared for me, but I was fine, and went into the water and swam toward the rows of sleeping white-tipped sharks along the ocean floor. I counted more than 24 and was stunned how perfectly these sharks remained so straight in a row when they slept. So, after seeing the sea, I swam back to shore and turned my eye to the sky. The frigate birds would swarm us humans, hoping for leftover food. But I photographed flying finches and watched Nazca birds, both male and female, keeping their eggs warm before they would hatch. It's nice to see, when looking at creatures not like you and me, that we can actually see that they may not be as scary as can be. But like you and me, they're just living to be free. And when you look closely, that is really nice to see. This one, The title says it all. Ultimate connectivity, getting naked with nature. After hiking for miles at Arches National Park, I realized that coming at the cooler time of year pretty much meant we had the park to ourselves. I walked for miles, saw no one, anywhere, and when I saw that no one to follow my walk along one ridged mountainous edge to a plateau, I did something that I never thought I would do in a public place. I looked around, saw for miles that I was alone. So I got undressed and sat in the lotus position on top of my small pile of clothes and tried for one brief moment to connect with nature. I'd close my eyes, and then I'd open my eyes. Still no one was there. Then I'd look around, maybe close my eyes again. The only thing that stopped me was the breeze at this mountain ridge, till I decided that maybe I had enough nature for one day before I put on my clothes and continued my walk, watching the red rock and truly feeling like I was finally a part of the world. Okay, then I will end with my final from the show. This one is A Bird in the Hand. So after camping at Bryce National Canyon, yeah, there was snow on the ground, but my sleeping bag zipper wasn't broken. I got out of my tent in the morning, and a few little birds fluttered by. Now, one seemed to hang out a little too close, so I put some grain in the palm of my hand, stretched out my forearm, and remained perfectly still. Almost on cue, less than 2 minutes later, a bird landed on the palm of my hand and enjoyed the bounty I gave them. And suddenly I felt like I was Mother Earth. I could stretch out my arms like a scarecrow, but this time to the animals, they wouldn't be afraid. They would see my outstretched arms, and I would give them food and shelter and love. And maybe that was when I twitched my finger, or else I was out of food, because the next thing I knew, my 3-inch little bird took a step or two along my palm and across my fingers before it flew away.
Yeah. A couple of stories from the person you just heard. Janet's ran venues in Chicago, right? Is a wonderful publisher.
This is why.
But what you should know is that she went through a near-death experience in a car accident, and it took all her being to want to be able to connect and communicate in a positive way. In the same way as you responded to the leaving of someone, she's chosen poetry as a path which is an honourable and ancient path to be able to articulate and come through great trauma by loving their way through it. And I want to thank you very much, Jan, for being part of this.
Thank you.
I also wanted to say, wanted to honour